Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having an okay day. I am filming this on Sunday as usual. I am currently waiting for my roommate Matt to get here, and hopefully he's here before Tuesday. No particular reason for why that is. I just hope he gets here because I'm tired of waiting. Anyway, y'all, I have a somewhat somber subject to speak to you about, which is why I'm not in my big energy mood, but this is a big energy subject for sure. So, if you have not been paying attention, or well, it's not your fault because there's not a lot of coverage about it unless you are in New Jersey. Khalil Wheeler-Weaver or Wheeler-Weaver, whichever one. Honestly, his name doesn't matter. He is a 23-year-old serial killer who has currently killed 3 women, allegedly killed 3 women, and probably many more. So we're going to dive into that subject because I think it is important considering my channel is about dating and the risks and payouts of dating and why this particular situation is definitely detrimental to those who use dating apps. So, to give you some background information, Khalil was using dating apps when he was interacting with women who were looking for dates and sex workers. And want to put this into perspective, I am not going to tolerate people that are like, sex workers deserve it. None of that bullshit. You do not deserve to die because of your profession, especially when it's something like sex work, right? So, in fact, the reason why he actually got caught, because he's done this before, the reason why he got caught is because one of the young ladies that he did eventually murder did tell other people where she was going to be, who she was going to meet, like really left the breadcrumbs, which is very important in dating. I know it sounds very silly, and to any gender, any sex, anything, I think it is important for you to leave breadcrumbs. At least tell people if you're going on dates with people you've not met. Just this young lady did the best thing she could in a situation that she probably wasn't even thinking she was going to get murdered, but she did the necessary steps to ensure that the person who did hurt her was caught after all. So once putting together like the license plate and everything, she left all that information to be found. It's probably something she did normally when she went on dates or to meet up with someone. But this time it was useful because it did eventually catch this man. So why I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about the entire situation is because it's an active case right now, and I'm not going to try to say anything until this thing has been, cleared and we know what's up and what he's been charged with, what he's not been charged with. And once that's set, then I'll definitely make a video about it because it is really important to address. But why I want to talk about it right now is his reasoning behind doing these murders. So all the women who were killed were Black women. And his justification for killing Black women was because nobody cares about dead Black girls. That is his own words. That is what he said. So me, being a Black girl / woman, that is major concern to me because, I'm on the dating scene and I know some people are just shitty. They're not even using dating apps for dating. They're really just using it to stroke their own ego, to hurt people for no reason. It's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place. Dating in general has become, dating has always been a dangerous game. So even before apps, when people picked you up at your parents' house and met your dad and all that, blah, 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 they still could have hurt you. The only situation I guess is different now is how instantaneous meeting people are. So we're going to bring it all back a little bit. So as a Black woman who hears that hurts my soul. Because Khalil is a Black man. So this is not like some race thing where it's like this was a white guy and he did this because he knew he wouldn't get caught. No, this is a Black man saying this about Black women. And the fact that he did murder people, and I'll just give you some tidbits about what's happening in the case. Not the whole case, we're not going to go through that. But he planned this stuff. So it wasn't even like something popped off during a date and he decided, oh, this girl's gonna die. But they looked at his Google search history and he was Googling stuff like, what is the chemical you put on a rag to make a person pass out? What are poisons that can kill human beings? Like he was actively planning to hurt people, and it just bamboozles me. Like I said, I'm keeping an eye on the case. I'm keeping up with what's happening because I want to know what is going to happen here because he's a serial killer. He was planning this. He targeted a very specific demographic, which was Black women and sex workers. The two demographics are already very stressed when it comes to the dating situation. Sex workers are typically targeted. They're robbed, they're beaten, they're raped, they're taken advantage of to a point because, you know, people assume sex workers know the risks and are assuming those risks when they take on dates. And then black women having to deal with the racism, the potential physical assaults because of being black and XYZ amount of reasons. When you put those two together, you know, those two corresponding identities that may not link at all, but if you have someone who have that intersectional identity of being black and a sex worker, they are at a heightened risk of being assaulted or, you know, murdered. And it just breaks my heart because this whole situation really speaks to the fact that a lot of people are not caring about the autonomy of the person. They're just going out for their own gratification. So besides what Khalil said he was doing it for, which is, you know, nobody cares about black women, that doesn't give an explanation for why he was doing it. So I don't know if it's sexually motivated. I don't know if it was anger motivated. I don't know any of that. And until the case has run its course and he's led on, or there's a manifesto somewhere, I don't know this information. As much as I wish I could know, because then at least I can make assumptions, I don't know. I personally don't know why anyone kills people unless they tell us why they do it. And even then, in most cases, people don't. And part of me believes that Khalil's, his whole system that's going to defend him, they're probably going to make sure that he doesn't give a reason, because if he gives a reason, that shows intent. But even then, I think that the search history shows intent, considering, you know, you were looking up ways to kill people. As of now, from what I'm seeing in the case, he did not use poisoning or chloroform to kill those young women. I think it was strangulation mainly and a gun. But that could be just hearsay because there's so many places talking about it, but there's not a concrete place where it's like, we're keeping up. So I'm just doing my own little research, just trying to figure out what's going on. So I don't have any tips per se, besides with the young lady. Oh gosh, my mind's just blanking because this is the first thing I'm recording in the morning. I haven't eaten, I haven't had a cup of tea. But breadcrumbing, leaving behind a trail, is important. And like I said earlier, I don't care about your sex. I don't care about your gender. I don't care about if you assume you're the biggest person in the room and that you could take whoever, you know, is there. Leave breadcrumbs. Even if you think it's something safe where, oh, they're going to come to my house and I have the upper hand because I have weapons and all that stuff. Leave breadcrumbs. Let people know who you're going to interact with. And for, you know, license plates, fine, do that. I'm recalling a time in college when my one of my best friends, Dakota, was about to go on a date, and she told me, hey, he's here. I drive by in my car, my bright blue car, no tinted windows, just staring out the window, looking at his license plate, looking at the make of his car, looking at, like, what's up. And then they see me because I'm not good at hiding, but I didn't want to hide. So I'm just like, you already know. But if you don't have a support system like that, for me, like right now, I'm in a new city. I've been here since May. When it comes to the dating situations, I tell my girlfriends in Texas. I tell them exactly who he is. I typically send pictures, tell them what we're gonna do, because I don't necessarily have a support system here that can come and help me if shit hits the fan. But at least I know my girlfriends in Texas are expecting me to text them every day, multiple times in a day. And if they realize that after a date that did not occur, okay, we got some shit to deal with, because Diamond told us the last thing she was doing was with, you know, a dude. So that's all I can say, honestly, at this point. I wanted to throw a video out there because I have not seen any coverage about this. And I've seen, most of the stuff I've seen is on Instagram, on black affiliated pages, black women pages, about how there was a black serial killer targeting black women. So that's the only reason why I came about this. This wasn't on Facebook. This wasn't on the news that I like watch. And it's a tad sad because, like I said, it feels like this is being swept under the rug because it is a black, my mind just blank, a black serial killer, and the victims were all black and sex workers. And that's not fair. You don't get to pick and choose who you get to vilify. He is a serial killer. You better put him on blast. And we need to know the names and the identities of these young women. That's another thing. I've been digging around, and not a lot of coverage is being about the women that he killed. A lot about Khalil. And then, even this entire video that I'm making, I've only mentioned Khalil's name. So I'm going to make sure that before I post this video, I'm going to have the names, at least a description of the young ladies that he did kill that they're currently charging him with. I know for a fact that there's probably going to be many, many more women that either are going to come to the surface, or, he's going to admit to, or he's never going to admit to. And there's going to be families out there who are wondering why their daughters didn't come home. And it breaks my heart that it may have been him who hurt them. So I'm going to make sure those names pop up and make sure that those names get out there, because though he's the only one right now that I can talk about because he's the one on trial, they are the victims. They are still important. We still need to say their names, especially the young lady who ultimately was the one who got him caught. Her family were on it. I applaud her family because they saw something was up and they went to the cops about it. And from there, I think having a support like that is ideal. So, more to come once I find out more. So, the names of the young ladies who were affected by Khalil, who were murdered by him. And all I can say is that I think it's important that y'all not focus too much on him. But I do want it to be said that there's not enough coverage about this. And that can be reflected in his statement that nobody cares about dead black girls. Because it appears no one doesn't. I apologize for the somber topic. I will probably have a better topic for you next week unless something pops up with the Khalil case. Have a good week. Be safe. If you go on any dates, breadcrumb. Be safe, honestly.